Hi, and welcome to Contribute to Positive Outcomes. This video is quite long, so we're looking at splitting this up into two. Firstly, when we're looking at contributing to positive outcomes, we're looking at how we can improve the business, improve our performance, improve the performance of the business. And one of the ways which we can do that is supporting colleagues. So we can support colleagues when they're having difficulties. We can help to celebrate a colleague's success. A number of ways we can work out what a colleague needs is through our listening skills. So actually making sure that we listen to things that they say and things that they do, so we know exactly what they need. Questioning techniques. Not everyone is a fantastic talker, and people can be sometimes cagey about what they want to share. So being able to question people to get the information we need out of them is also an important thing to do. We need to be aware of any barriers to communication and how to break those down. So it could be developing a relationship with someone. It could be working on some of those barriers to communication. If they've got a language issue, then we can talk in simpler language, for instance. But it needs to be something that facilitates communication in both ways. And we can also look at communicating in a variety of ways. So maybe people talk more openly in person, and so we need to focus on having that in-person conversation. Maybe they are busy all day doing something, so we need to support them through email because then they can read that email whenever they like. We can also support them through reports and things like that by maybe asking for reports on how they can improve and things like that. We can also look at our policies and support them through either the creation of policies that better protect our employees or better cater to our employees, or by actually following the policy that is set down to help us support our colleagues. We also need to regularly review workplace outcomes and implement improvements. So obviously, it is important for us to improve regularly, as the idea of this unit is, but also we need to look at regularly reviewing, because we can't just improve. We need to know where we're at. We need to know how to improve, and we can only do that if we actually regularly review our outcomes or how we perform in our job. So one of the ways we can do this is through feedback. So we can see here we've got the workers and they talk to the boss. So the workers give feedback to the boss can give feedback or information back to the employees, and it's a loop. So it might be, I've got this great idea, goes to the workers. Yeah, boss, that's not really going to work because of X, Y, Z. We think you should do this instead. The boss considers that, and there's a dialogue until you get something that will work for both parties. So that's really important, and that way you can get a really great improvement in your workplace outcomes. And as part of that, we would have meetings. So you can definitely have meetings where you have that free discussion of ideas to enable you to improve the outcomes in a workplace. And it's also important to note that you are legally required to consult in regards to WHS and therefore improve the safety of workers constantly. And here's a video on that.
WorkCover is here to help business understand the new work, health and safety laws. So let's discuss consultation. As a business owner, you'll know that talking with your workers is a great way to share your information and expectations. You'll also know that getting your workers to contribute to improvements or new processes can get a better result than going it alone. Under the new laws, you must consult with workers on any matters relating to health and safety that could directly affect them. Remember that workers includes people such as contractors, volunteers and trainees, as well as employees. This consultation can lead to fewer workplace injuries and lost time by letting workers discuss health and safety concerns, find practical solutions from their first-hand experience, offer a different view, and broaden their knowledge and health and safety expertise. You must consult with workers when identifying hazards and managing risk, proposing changes that may affect health and safety, for example, getting new equipment, introducing or reviewing work procedures, reviewing workplace facilities, or establishing how to resolve disagreements over health and safety issues. Under the new laws, there are several possible consultation arrangements, including where workers elect a health and safety representative to raise issues, a health and safety committee forms to review policies and procedures. Your workers agree to another type of arrangement, such as toolbox talks or safety meetings. A health and safety representative, or HSR, replaces the OHS rep that existed under the previous laws. A trained HSR has more powers, however, including being able to direct unsafe work to stop where there's a serious risk and issuing a provisional improvement notice where a practice breaks the health and safety laws. Whatever consultation arrangement you agree on, always stick to the plan. For more information, call 13 10 50, because at the end of the day, the new work health and safety laws are about helping you and your workmates work safe and get home safe.
Okay, so what is the importance of feedback? Feedback is super important. It's the thing that gives us the information we need to be able to improve. There are a number of types of feedback. We can have formal and informal feedback. So you can see here, formal might be in the case of a meeting, a one-on-one meeting with a boss. It could be a letter, a report based on our performance, a formal performance review. We can also have informal feedback. So you can see here, shorts and thongs. Informal feedback might be a quick chat over coffee. It could be a couple of words as you walk past someone. Hey, good job. Or, you know, you need to work a bit on this or something like that. Feedback can also be direct or indirect. So we can have direct feedback where we're actually talking directly to someone. Could be a phone call, an email, or a in-person meeting. Or indirect feedback where we say, okay, team, good job. We're not highlighting the performance of an individual, but we're highlighting the performance of a team. We might give general feedback such as, you know, it would be great if we could talk to customers more instead of saying, in this particular instance, we should have talked to our customers a bit more. So there's a number of ways we can do that one. Feedback can also be positive or negative. So positive feedback is useful because it validates where we're at. It gives us a boost of confidence. It makes us satisfied with our job. So everyone needs to hear that they've done a good job. It's important that we hear that. But hearing those sorts of things doesn't generally help us improve all that much. So the other thing the other thing that's more important, but oftentimes harder to take, is that negative feedback. So what is lacking in our work that we can fix? So in terms of getting that feedback is really important. But we need to look at as well, though, is also how we take that negative feedback. We need to make sure that we take it and deliver it in a constructive way. So whenever attacking the person, we're attacking the behavior, and we need to make sure that when we take that feedback, we take it in the spirit that it is intended. It's intended for us to improve. It's not intended for us to be cut down and be discouraged by that feedback. Also important to look at responsibility. Who has responsibility for communicating these things? Okay. As we saw in this before, everyone has the responsibility to feed back what they see. So a worker has the responsibility, not just the option, but the actual obligation to give feedback to the boss in areas they think that can be improved. And the boss has also the obligation to share information the employees need to be able to give that feedback. And that's one half of contribute to positive outcomes.